Well, hello and welcome back everyone. So recently मेरा IBM में इंटरव्यू हुआ था and there were some like it was basically for application developer position as you can see on this screen और मैंने सोचा that I should share it with you guys and that I got selected and एक महीना हो गया इस बात को but we are still going through the processes तो कंफर्मेशन मिलने के बाद भी आई वांटेड टू मेक श्योर कि सारा प्रोसेस स्मूथली हो जाए देन आई वुड मेक अ वीडियो एंड शेयर विद यू गाइस and I would share all the we'll talk about the questions. I will tell you how it was and what are the answers that I gave. I mean not line to line exactly, but yeah, I will try that I can give it to you guys and maybe that would help you to crack some interviews in some other companies also. And yeah, let's get right into it. So the first question was about the introduction. So I introduced myself about what my work is. If you are a fresher, then introduce yourself with your organization. I would say organization as in your institution, basically. What you are studying and what semester you are going through, the subjects, and if you have made any sample projects. Other than that, if you are experienced person, you would probably know that you have to introduce yourself, the projects that you have worked on, the technical skills, what you are aspiring as a developer in the career. And the next question is what are inline and block elements. So that was quite basic because they are just asking very less things from HTML and CSS in this interview. And block and inline elements are one of those elements that we use in HTML, like span and p are one of the example. What is the space they cover? That would be the width of the web page. And the next question is different position property in CSS. That is, we have four different positions. Statics is one of the default position. Then we have absolute, relative, fixed, and sticky. So fixed and sticky are one of those that vary in such a way that one position for fixed it the element would be fixed. The sticky is used when we want to stick the navbar to the top. Relative and absolute, if we talk about, so in the relative the element is positioned related to its normal position, so it would be like if we have given top 5, so it won't be in that position it should be, but having a 5 pixel margin from the top. Lastly, absolute is the one where element is placed related to its parent position. So the next question is how flexbox work. So flexbox is basically one of those property we use to align the page, the elements in the page. Flexbox has this property where we can change the display into flex. We can use wrap with it. We can use flex direction as row or column or reverse of both. And they basically asked me about box model, and then we dived into flexbox. So box model is one where we can have a representation. If I want to tell that an element is there, then outside it is the padding, then we have border, and at last we have the margin going from the inside to the outside. The next question was what are let, const, and where in JavaScript. So we talked about how let, const, and where vary. So we know that where is one of those which is block function scoped, and let and const are block scoped. So if you define any of the I would say not element, variable, and it use let and const, it won't be stored in the global scope because it is function scoped. But with where it is stored in global scope, and where is not block scoped, but let and const are block scoped. Okay, with the const we know that if we assign something a is equals to 5, it will remain a is equals to 5 only. We can't change the value of a const. And if we talk about redeclaration variable, something like where a can be redeclared, and also where has a property of hoisting, whereas let and const doesn't. So coming on to the next question, that would be async and await. But before that, if we have talked about hoisting, so hoisting is a property where the declaration is moved to the top of the scope, like a function or anything in JavaScript, so that there is no problem when we are calling it. Okay, and if we talk about async and await, that is the sixth question. So async and await basically are used to make a synchronous function work asynchronously, waiting for the result, which is like using await, and it after that the result is returned. This is how like multiple functions can work asynchronously. Subsequently, like two in a row or three in a row, multiple functions can work at the same time. And then what is event loop? So event loop is a mechanism where if we have defined, like we were talking about functions, right? So if we have defined multiple functions, then they all want to be need to be executed one by one, and that is how it is done. Event loop has two of the I would say properties, callback and call stack queue. So the functions that are yet to be executed are stored in call stack queue, and they will be executed and returned to the callback, and one by one they are returned, and they are in line. So last in first out is kind of the thing. I guess I am right about that. And then coming on to the next questions. So React.js, what is it? Like it is not a framework. It is a JavaScript library which is used to like build single page web applications, and that is what my answer was to this question. Then he asked, no, not he, it was she. Huh. And she asked me what are the hooks. So basically, because I don't use class-based components, I use function-based components. So I didn't talk about life cycles, but about the hooks like use state, use ref, use effect, use callback, use memo, and also we talked about use strict, how it helps in finding the bugs, and not getting the like not making the errors. Then about the components, we talked about how we use function-based component. The props and the states are passed, and also like if I use context API, so I don't. I use Redux only. And then she asked me like, what is a virtual DOM, which is basically lightweight copy of a real DOM and changes, and only those part of the app where the state or the object is changed. Okay, then coming on to the React routing, how we use it. React router we use to like give the application only that particular web page which we want, and it is like quite like a small library that you guys can also install, I guess, if you guys know. And coming on to the code splitting, how we split the code into the small parts, and which has to be rendered when, and how it increases the performance of the app. Then what is Redux and how does it work? So Redux is used with the React for state management and store the state of an object or anything. Yeah, mostly objects or an array, to like access them globally in our applications. We have store, we have actions, and reducers to that are used with the dispatch, use selectors that are most commonly used. That's what I explained to her. And later, after all this was done, she gave me two of the code snippets. So I will share that with you guys. In fact, I will like show you what exactly that code was and how I solved it. And let's get to that part. After that, we will talk about managerial part. Okay, so these were two of the questions that were asked to me, and the first one we can see that there is two, three things that are being printed, and she asked me why is it happening that we are getting the result differently rather than A, B, and C. So that is happening because the is used with set timeout of 1 second, and then we are printing C. So we will see that also, that the output was A, C, and B. right? And then she asked me to print I, B, and M from this one. Okay, I'm not sure why the hint is coming and what the hint is, but I will show you like how I did it. And it was like words that were, yeah, string dot split. That's what I did. And after this words were split, I printed it. I took it out from the words only the mm, I would say, yeah, the capital letters one, that is 0. So cap was equals to, yeah, maps, yeah. Okay, it is giving something, but I'm not sure, like that's I want. I will complete like this only words. uh, hmm, have word. Okay, it is giving a lot of things, but I don't want all this. Only character at 0. So we can do it like this also. And if we print it, CLG cap, it might give us the I, B, and M. Like this, it is giving an array. So, but we want it to be like not an array. So I will do this thing like join them, and we can see that we have got IBM and C and B are also there because 1 second gap is there. Okay, so after that, when this round was cleared, I got into the managerial round, and this was probably the last one. I was quite nervous. I didn't get the time after the result to prepare for it, but since I was giving a whole night to see what actually is managerial round, I guess that time was quite helpful. Like studied till 2 o'clock in the morning, till 2, and then later that day only I had the interview. So after the result were out, and they asked me why you want to join the IBM. So basically, you have to research about IBM, what they are doing, and what kind of company it is. So it is a semi-product and based company. Okay, so they are both service and products. And we have known IBM for a long time as the one kind of computers that we used to operate in my childhood. I'm not sure about yours, but that was one of the things. And I studied how IBM is working on AI and the blockchain right now. So AI was one of the most eye-catching for me when I read about it in the article. Also, I have loved New York for a long time, and I want to go there to like have a work life. Maybe I'm not sure. So I researched all this and told him. He was impressed. Then he asked me, why are you leaving Infosys? So you don't have to be negative about your company. You always have to be positive and tell that you want to push yourself, work harder, and challenge yourself to get a but grow up in the career, and that is one of those things. Other than that, you also have to praise your company only. Okay. Then he asked me some of the technical questions related to React only, like what is React, what is virtual DOM, what kind of projects I have done, and also some of the function-based components like hooks and these all he asked. But it was quite basic, so normal, and nothing tough as I thought. And ऑलवेज़ रिमेंबर अगर किसी भी मैनेजर से बात कर रहे हो तो उसे ये फील ही मत कराओ कि वो मैनेजर है। ऐसे बात करो कि वो तुम्हें जानता है, कोई बंदा तुम्हारा सीनियर है मे बी, बट नॉट अ फ्रेंड ऑब्वियसली। तो इस तरह से बात करोगे तो एक पॉजिटिव वाइब आएगी उसे भी, और इंटरेक्टिव सेशन बनेगा तो तुम्हारा पॉजिटिव इम्पैक्ट पड़ेगा, स्पेशली वाइल इंटरव्यूज़। Also, to test my knowledge, he asked me about my recent project, what all the tech stack was being used. So in my organization, I told him like how Mun stack using Next.js. There is a project that I was developing. So मैं बता नहीं सकता क्या था क्योंकि वो confidential internal project था. But it was Mun stack, and there we used charts like RE charts and MUI charts. So that was also one of those things that was quite creating a good impact over the manager. Then at last, he also asked me like, "What are you working on?" So I told him that I was creating a WhatsApp clone using Socket.io, and I did it. After interview, only I completed it. And after this, there was just soft skill questions like, what are all strengths you have, adaptability, team leadership, team management, time management. All these are the questions that are quite basic, so you can answer that yourself also. And other than that, after that, always ask for the feedback from your interviewers, even if it is technical or managerial. I asked in both. So in technical, she was like not sure if there was any error, so she just told me that it was good, and that's it. That was it, like good. And that was the feedback. For manager, he quite liked my attitude. He praised that I had a positive attitude, and the smile on my face created a good interactive session. And also he told me that सब लोग मतलब नॉर्मली इंटरव्यू के टाइम पे डर जाते हैं, तो ऐसे बात करते हैं, तो उसमें इंटरेक्टिव नहीं होता, लेकिन अगर तुम डर के बात नहीं करोगे तो सेशन अच्छा अच्छा जाता है इंटरव्यू का। तो एट दैट टाइम ओनली आई न्यू दैट IBM में सिलेक्शन हो ही जाएगा। And after that, I am done with all these documentation and everything, document and background verification. So I would be joining IBM soon, and maybe I would give you guys a tour to IBM campus that is in Mysore. And yeah, I am excited. Let's see what happens next. And yeah, keep liking, subscribing, and sharing this content, because it has taken a lot of hard work. And जितने views उतना encouragement and motivation to make new videos, and I guess these are going to be helpful. So yeah, let's hope for the best. Thanks.